Hello, my name is Prime and welcome back to this episode of ATS Showcases, and today I'm going to check out the Rezworth W900, this absolutely beautiful custom W900 that's by the same author that did the Rezbilt Peterbilt 389. So if you haven't seen that video, I'll link it up in the card above, and this mod will be linked down in the description below. It's a Steam Workshop mod and it has quite a few interesting customizations. Similar to its Peterbilt counterpart, this W900 has quite a few customization options, a lot based off of what the stock ATS W900 is, but overall it is a lovely mod indeed. So we have 4 different cabin options here, and if we go to chassis, that's where we have quite a few, including some stretched ones as well. So of course you got the short chassis, but then also extended as well. Now the engine department is very interesting. I haven't been able to get any separate engine mods working with it, but it appears as if some of the engines have been kind of modified in some ways. Now in this video I'm using the upgraded Cat C15 King of the Hill, but to me it sounds very, very similar, if not identical, to the stock King of the Hill engine in ATS. Over in the transmission tab, you have your normal options. And as we get to the interior, this is where the options really start to stand out. We've got plenty of different options throughout here with different gauge colors. Paint-wise, you've got your standard colors, along with this custom Rezbilt modeled paint job that I'm using today, just with some different colors. And probably the standout of the show, the exterior configuration. As you can tell, there are plenty of dots here, with many of these dots being able to configure the truck in many different ways. Most notably, the dot by the fender, you can change from the standard to the full curve or the secondary curve, which I actually use in today's video. There are plenty of light options as well, depending on what kind of skirts you use along the side of the truck, different styles of mudguards, and really anything to your liking. The interior customization, we have a little bit here. We have a CB radio along the top, and you can put a GPS, depending if you choose the interior with a GPS or not. You could choose to put a large GPS in 4 different locations on the windscreen. I also forgot to mention that you can choose from many different exhaust options as well. As you can tell, I am running a pretty hefty set of dual exhausts. But without further ado, let's get this Rezworth W900 started up and get on the road. So let's roll out. Hopefully everyone's doing well. I'm hauling this wheel loader from here in Ratton down to Amarillo, so it should be a pretty good delivery, but we've got to get on the road so we make some okay time. It's pretty early in the morning. Let's see, can I even get around the corner? Well, that would be a good question because I've got the long wheelbase on, so I've got to be careful of my corners here. So let's just reverse, and I may actually have to give myself some more swing space there to try and get out. And I've got this tandem. Oh yes, we're going the wrong way. Got my custom, one of my custom low boys here today, and I haven't driven this one for a while, and it's got the articulation, and it I'm not used to driving an articulated trailer backwards, that's for sure. So let's try and go left here and see if we can get out. I quite like the styling of this truck, I have to say. I mean, to be honest, it's a custom W900. I love W900s. Add custom to the name of it, and add the Rezworth badge because it's, I mean, I love the oh man, this is going just swell, isn't it? Note to self, park in a better location next time before trying to get out of here with this form of truck and trailer combo. Why do I always do this to myself when I do these long truck mods? I always choose the oversized loads as well, or at least the long loads, and the more difficult trailers to maneuver in tighter spots. You gotta love it. As I was saying, we gotta make some time here, and I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I was hoping that a custom sound mod would work with this truck. I have quite a few different ones that I've tried out in trying to get this video up and going, but couldn't get any of them to work, and including the interior sounds mod that I still actually have activated in the save, the JC Amateurs. It doesn't appear to be working as far as I know, unless if it is and I'm just going crazy. Maybe that is a very big possibility, to be honest, but it's similar with the engine mods that come with the truck. My best trained ears can say that this engine seems very similar, if not identical in sound, to the classic W900 King of the Hill engine in ATS. With that said, it could be tuned in the sound options just slightly differently, and overall just different torque options as well, just to give it some, you know, different oomph and a little bit of extra power behind it. You never know. And I didn't get a chance to actually test, and I'm completely blocking the road here. Well, sorry everyone. Don't mind me. Just, you know, blocking off the road, being that kind of guy. It's all good. But just look at this truck. Looks so good. But yeah, it is kind of a shame that I couldn't seem to get... Oh, come on, cop. You can go through. It's a green light. Don't be afraid. It's a shame that I couldn't get a custom sound mod to work, because this would have been a really nice truck to do that. And I actually had one lined up that I really wanted to use with it, because it would have worked really well. But I guess in one of the next episodes, I'll just have to use it instead. I won't spoil it yet, but it's a very, very nice mod. But no, unless if I'm going crazy, because I haven't been able to test the Packard and other Cummins engines that come with this mod. And that's something I probably should have done, to be honest. But I didn't actually do that. So unless if I just picked the one out of the selection that doesn't happen to, well, have more of a custom sound set, I don't really know. But let's test the Jake brake and see if that's different. It sounds very similar to the King of the Hill engine that's stock in ATS. So I have a feeling that if you pick up this mod, it is just more of a standard engine sound. I can't actually remember now if the Rezbilt Peterbilt 389 by the same author, which is the, I guess you could say the more popular mod. It was the one I think that actually came out first, to be honest. The first one that the author released on the Steam Workshop. And as far as I can't remember in my first look video of it, if it actually had a custom engine sound or not. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. I forgot to actually look back at that video before recording this, so I don't actually know. But I'll check before posting this, and I'll put a little bit something down in the description or something, maybe if I remember about it, and maybe you guys remember as well. But let me know if I'm going crazy with this mod. But I do highly recommend it nonetheless, even if the engine sounds are more stock. Really do enjoy the truck. Having this customization is quite nice, and I mean, this is just one way you can do it. There's a ton of options. I mean, I went for a white and black, really clean build, along with some chrome as well, chrome covers and lights all the way down the running boards. I'll see if I can stay on the road there, but overall it just is such a lovely truck. You know what, sounds pretty good. I'll give credit where credit's due. If tuning has been done, it at least fits quite well. It's just a shame that I couldn't have one of those really more aggressive sound mods that just have that extra roar to them, and a little bit of extra brute power, which this W900 kind of needs, to be honest. I can't remember what kind of horn we've got today. Just a classic super roar. So yeah, I don't know if some of my sound mods are actually properly working with it, so I just don't think this truck is really compatible with external ones yet. I should mention that. As far as I know, this is the newest mod from the author, so there is a chance that this Rezworth W900 just hasn't had the mod capability feature added to it yet. So you never know, or compatibility, not compatible, or you know what I mean. The compatibility for mods added, you never know. But it's just, I found it strange that in the kind of configuration page that it just, the engines were listed as technically a mod from this truck. I haven't noticed that with some of the other trucks that use the stock engines, so it makes me feel like something has been kind of tweaked, but I can't quite pinpoint what. Maybe just some of the in-game sound settings, or if I, as I mentioned, some of the torque values have been changed. That could very well be it. Or it's just the fact of how the mod was designed, and it's just what the in-game labeling is doing now, and I just haven't paid enough attention. Once again, I could be going crazy, and that's probably what's happening. But in the interior, as I mentioned, in the little breakdown, you can do GPS, the little, or the CB radio. Also did mention the fact that you can change the shifter as well. I realize now I really forgot a couple major things in that overview of the truck mod, but hopefully it gave you a pretty good idea of the amount of configuration this truck does offer. I mean, the Rezbilt 389 is, well, one of the, or it's definitely continuing to grow, but it's one of my more popular videos on the channel. You guys really love it. I should really bring back that truck after, well, I think it's been a couple years now, or at least a year, and bring it back and see how that goes. Maybe do a different configuration of it, obviously, because there's a ton of different options. but it'll be kind of cool to compare that as well. I've got plenty of other things lined up, and as I mentioned, I really wanted to have another sound mod kind of partnered with this video with this truck. I felt like it would have been a really good mix, but unfortunately just things couldn't line up that way and didn't quite work out. As I mentioned, we're going from in New Mexico down to Amarillo in Texas. It's on a road that we actually haven't been on yet, or at least I haven't been on. Maybe you guys have in your own saves, and we're hitting some rush hour traffic here. I actually don't know where we quite are, kind of just in the middle of nowhere by the looks of it. I'm tempted to go into the other lane to try and bypass this because we are going straight through, but we've got some traffic rolling behind us here, and now we are just in a bit of a gridlock here. Yes, we are. I don't know what the truck ahead of me is really doing. I think he's just waiting for the light to go green up there. Hopefully it's a long light, because if not, there's a pretty good queue. Yeah, we are just one in the queue here, and it's quite extensive, that's for sure. Yeah, this engine's definitely got a lot of torque. I mean, we've got, oh, just riding the bumper there of the car ahead of us just a little bit. It's definitely a torquey engine, so there may have it may have been tweaked a bit. But yeah, let me know down in the comments if you guys have used this mod, or at least if you have a better clue of what's going on with the engine situation there. And of course, if I ever figure it out, because I'll keep kind of working on it, because I do love these custom truck mods, and I know you guys do as well. I'm definitely going to keep working on it and see if I can find one that does work with it, or test a different engine, see if it sounds different. And maybe one of the next episodes will be with this truck again, but just different configuration, different colors, you know, all different kinds of options and stuff, and let's change it up, because that's the nice thing with these mods. I could do 3 episodes, maybe even 4, probably even 4 episodes right back to back. Every truck could be very, very different. Actually, yeah, 4 would work well, because there's 4 different kind of cabin options for this truck. I could do 4 completely different videos, and same truck, but the overall look of the truck could be very different overall, which is something that's really nice with these custom trucks. I mean, the stock ATS trucks you can do quite a bit of customization with, and they've been getting better and better, especially the newer ones. But there's only so much you can do to really make it unique. Color is a big thing that I do. Really, it's the main thing your eye catches whenever you're, for example, looking at a thumbnail or watching this video, for example, and it's a big factor in how a truck looks. Obviously, that's kind of a given. But the overall styling, well, stays the same. There's only so much I could do with bumpers and different either chrome or paint accents or stock plastic, depending on the truck type I'm going for. So my options are, I'm sometimes kind of hand-tied. I can only do so much to change it up. But with these custom trucks, these kind of more specialty build trucks, they offer so many different customization options, and that's something that I do appreciate. And Rezbilt, the Rezbilt modders have done or modder at least, have done a wonderful job with these mods, especially the Peterbilt. I know it's one of the most popular truck mods now, as far as I know on the Steam Workshop, definitely one of the most popular, and this W900 is going to climb the list quite nicely, I have to say. Rise up over time, and especially if the mod situation can come under, kind of come into the scope here. If it isn't implemented yet, that would definitely increase the kind of the attractiveness, I'd say. And maybe, as I said, I may be just completely blind. That has happened before. I've messed that up before, and if so, that's completely on me. But I mean, really, there's no complaints. The sounds are one thing, and they're a major part of the kind of experience of ATS, especially. But I have to say, the visuals on this truck and the performance too, I haven't really noticed anything weird with it, even with all this kind of custom stuff. Apparently, a lot of this was done in Blender, all the custom parts and stuff like that. Like, there's a lot of custom work done here, and I have to applaud the modders for that. They've done a wonderful job with the designing of the truck, and if there has to be some things that just have to get buttoned up, or things that compromises have to be made for the sake of having a really nice visual, well, so be it. It's the way it is, and I'm just happy to have a wonderful truck to do as a different type of a delivery here. Well, it looks like we're heading back into Texas here. I can't remember. There was a town. Actually, let's look on the map here. Yes, the Dalhart. Yes, we came from Raton. For some reason, I said it right at the beginning of the video, but partway through there, I completely forgot what town we came from. So I just said New Mexico. But yeah, we haven't been to Dalhart yet until now, and it is a lovely area. And then we're going to come on the kind of more northern side of Amarillo there and head south a little bit in through the town. So it's kind of a nice end to the delivery there. We have been to Amarillo before, I'm pretty sure, in a video, and that wasn't just me testing stuff. I believe we actually have, now that I remember it, one of our early access videos, if not one of the first ones I've done on the official release, were out of Amarillo or to Amarillo. But it's a lovely area of Texas, and I've got to kind of go back around the map now in ATS, and that's why I've been starting to kind of work my way back west a bit more again within recent episodes. And obviously I'll start doing some other episodes across the other states to give them some love as well, and to kind of give Texas a break. There's only so much you could do in one spot before it kind of starts to get old. I don't want to say that, because Texas is a wonderful state. SES Software did an amazing job with it, especially considering the size. Like, it's a lovely state, a massive expansion for ATS, and I mean, all praise to it, but I've got to change some stuff up here, especially on the showcases. It's nice to kind of explore around, and I really want to do, maybe even in a few episodes to come, want to kind of bring back a long haul kind of situation where I'll choose a truck mod of some sort, or a combination of mods, and then do a multi-part delivery, probably either starting or ending in Texas, but heading across the map in whatever direction I choose. And quite obviously, it will be a multi-part series, as I have kind of mentioned, just breaking it up into small-ish legs. I mean, it'll be probably more equivalent to normal episodes, if not maybe a little bit longer per leg, but I don't want it. I know our customer expects it very soon. I know, game, it's fine. Don't worry about it. I'll get there. We're closing in soon, and don't need all the warnings there. I may or may not have had to take a few attempts at, doing the intro and getting stuff sorted and moving around a bit and all that stuff. Delayed time a little bit. Also change time a little bit. Fast forward so then get a little bit more sunlight in the day. Yeah, classic YouTube things. Delays the delivery a little bit. It's all fine. I try and find jobs that have more of a higher lead time to it, so that I don't have to worry about, that stuff. But things happen, and you can only control so much, and, well, especially with me, things tend to go wrong, or I mess something up, and I want to make sure things go well. So overall, I try and kind of blend things together, and I think the videos normally turn out quite nice, and you guys seem to really enjoy it. January is always a bit of a quieter month around here, and if you guys know YouTube, generally it's January into February can be known as the more quiet months after the kind of Christmas or holiday rush. YouTube generally slows down a little bit. Oh, don't take out the Subaru there. Get around the corner. There we go. Prime driving at his best. Trying to do my best here. Trying not to crash into everyone. We want to try and keep this as legit as possible, as I could barely get out of the starting spot, though. That was definitely not a good way to start the episode, and to try and show off whatever skills I have remaining in my little driving arsenal here. Definitely not the way to try and show it off, that's for sure. Struggled to get around the corner in an oversized vehicle. Now, I will give myself a little bit of credit here. It's a long wheelbase on this W900. It does not turn worth anything. It does, but it takes a lot of room, shall I say. It definitely takes a bit of convincing to try and get around corners. And then throw in the articulated trailer, especially one that decides to cut the corner like crazy. Yep, you gotta give a lot of margin. And when I parked myself in a pretty precarious spot, well, not precarious, but definitely an area that I didn't really intend to have an issue getting out of there, which I probably should have known, considering when I actually went to get the delivery, I almost couldn't get around the corner just naturally in the truck when I was trying to get around to move. So I probably should have known that with the trailer it would have been even worse. I probably should have parked on the other side of the building once I picked up the delivery. Sometimes I, well, a little spoiler alert, sometimes I pick up the delivery and it moved to a slightly different area within the depot or kind of area in the maps for the intro where I have a bit more space so the camera isn't so crowded. So if you guys think that I always start where the game left me, sorry to kind of deceive you there. I don't. I just can't. Sometimes it's just not going to work out that way, and I've got to do what I got to do. But overall, most of the time, it's fine. Long story short, I moved myself around that way, and I probably made my life so much more difficult that I could have just gone straight out. But I thought, yeah, I'll start off with the turn. It'll be all fine. I just forgot about the turn itself. Okay, I forgot about how the characteristics of this truck and trailer don't really merit a 90-degree corner Subaru. Come on, dude. Oh, it's a one-way. Oh yeah, I forgot. Oops. But still, that looks sketchy as ever. Okay, I guess we're stopping here. Lovely. Lost all momentum there. I don't know about you. I thought that guy was coming into my lane by the way he was looking. So slam on the brakes, a little bit of evasive driving to try and make sure he didn't scratch up this beautiful truck. I don't want to cause any damage to this thing. You kidding? I may not be able to get around the corner, but I sure don't want to like run into anything because this is a custom truck, very expensive custom truck. I say, gee, cop, roll into the intersection much. Oh, the AI somehow are so realistic. They manage to capture drivers very, very well. Apologize if you are one, but I must say, it can be a bit of a heart attack for some of us others. And you know, driving is a wonderful thing, but there are sometimes you're gonna encounter some that maybe don't do it the most safe and more conscious of others approach. That's generally something that a lot of us, I think, can relate to in driving. But without that, it looks like, or without further ado, it looks like we're in Amarillo here. I forgot completely what I was going to say there, for if you couldn't tell. My brain was thinking of saying kind of, we're here one way, and I wanted, and my lips were saying another way, and well, that weirdness happened. But that's why I like doing these videos, just all natural. I try not to cut much out, or well, actually I don't cut really anything out unless if something happens. So if there's ever cuts, it's probably because something has happened, either in the recording, which I'm happy to say that since being able to get the Go XLR Mini, especially on the audio side, haven't had any issues. And besides that, it's just been the, you know, if there's little quirks here and there, or if Windows decides to do something strange, change a performance setting for whatever reason, sometimes that's an issue. But overall, it's just a lovely thing to have the Go XLR. Helps, makes things so much easier, and hopefully the audio has been a bit better, at least more consistent. That's the biggest thing. Whether you noticed a big difference in actual quality, probably not, because I already had a pretty good interface, and processing wise I do roughly the same thing. But overall, the consistency within episodes, especially with the level of my voice, I've noticed so much better, and I don't have to do as much to it, because even in past videos before I got this thing ages, or a little bit back now, I did a lot of work to the audio to try and make it more consistent throughout episodes, and that was a difficult task, I'll tell you that much. Oh, there's a car there? I didn't see them, if they are. Yeah, there was a car there. That may have also been a cop. Oh well. I think we scratched up the trailer. I mean, I'd rather scratch up this trailer than the truck. That's all I'm aiming for. I'm just hoping that I don't hit the truck, even though you can't get technical scratch damage in ATS. But you know, hopefully someday. Let's talk a little bit more then about what we'd like to see coming in ATS. Well, an actual damage model would be lovely. I think all of us could agree there. So it makes us, you know, pay attention a bit more, and just not, you know, servicing the truck to get rid of any damage that you can't actually see, but actually seeing cosmetic damage, like legitimate damage to the truck would be wonderful, and dirt as well. But I think it's kind of hard because SE Software has said that they don't really want ATS and ATS2 to be more of like a walking around game per se, where it's like completely open world, or like a mechanic simulator, for example. Like they don't want that aspect too much, because then you start losing kind of what ATS actually is. But being able to walk around in some key areas would be cool. Like I understand if they can't, you know, make players walk around the entire map. That's one thing, and maybe they could. You never know. But I could understand that point. But being able to walk around, for example, in a gas station, like, or a rest area or something like that, that could be a pretty neat experience. I don't really know. Obviously, I have no idea what the kind of back end development of that would be and how easy it could be given what the engine gives right now. But with that said, the engine is changing quite significantly. And where am I parking? Oh, just ahead of myself here. The engine this coming year, according to the Christmas live stream, they are really hoping to put out the updated version of their engine, which is a custom engine anyways that the SE Software has made. And that should bring even more performance, a more efficient performance, that is, and better overall graphic capabilities or future expansion as well. So overall, really exciting things coming along with other trucks and revamps of trucks in other areas as well. ATS is on a really nice upward trend, and it's a great thing to be a part of. And I'm happy to do some different mods and different trucks. So of course, let me know down in the comments if you have any recommendations at all. And besides that, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.